in MLS Next Pro, and in the loss versus Crown Legacy, it snapped a 5-game win streak. So if they can get the win for Chicago, that'll be their 6th win in 7 matches, will only put them in great spot amongst the top of the table. For Inter Miami FC, however, they're only going with one change. With that win against Atlanta, Federico Higuain does not want to mess around with too much. Barton for Hall in the back four is the only change in the 4-4-3 for Coach Higuain after that strong 4-1 win. And honestly, I can't see why not leave things kind of the way they are. Finnerty starts in his 4th game of Inter Miami 2's last 5 matches, and Ryan Carmichael continues to lead the way for Inter Miami 2. He's the center of the front 3 for Inter Miami with Reyes and Flores de la Paz. Expect the two of them, Reyes and Flores de la Paz, to potentially set up Carmichael for opportunities, especially in front of the net, which is where Carmichael has been so dangerous throughout Inter Miami 2 season. And as we mentioned before, the win versus Atlanta for Inter Miami 2 ended a run of 3 consecutive losses. Only 1 point out of the 8th and final playoff spot. A full 3 would provide a lovely cushion for the team from South Florida, as we are here at SeatGeek Stadium in Bridgeview, Illinois, to start off the second half of games in MLS Next Pro. It's a calm, gentle breeze of a day, only 75 degrees here in northwestern Illinois. As we take a look at the 2 squads, Chicago will start off with the first kickoff, as Chicago's in red, Miami's in white. The skies are blue, and on this 4th of July weekend matchup between Chicago Fire and Inter Miami 2, playoff points are what is in store for these two sides. Ryan Lee and our entire MLS Next Pro on Apple TV crew with you here on a Saturday. Thank you so much for joining us. As we mentioned how both of these two sides, the opportunity to get those playoff points are so important, especially for the long-term future of these two sides, at least in 2024, because Chicago, they are only essentially a game and a half out of first seed, and if they can snag those 3 points for the home side, they'll have a chance to get up to second, potentially tying FC Cincinnati, barring the results of whatever Cincinnati can muster up. But with Miami, it's really important for them to snag the points when they can, because there's so many teams all vying for only 2 playoff spots. It's 6 teams that are within the running of that 8th and final playoff spot. However, when it's all said and done, there are only going to be 4 teams that will walk away with that. Currently, Inter Miami and Orlando City B are the 2 teams that are out as we stand today, with Inter Miami in their 15th of the 28-game season. Chicago Fire 2, this is game 15, so they are exactly at the second half mark. Long ball goes for Ryan Carmichael in a dead sprint ahead. Carmichael shoots, and that one just goes a little overhead. But almost every single coach that we've talked to over the last several weeks of MLS Next Pro talked about how they have to shuffle up their lineups because of some opportunities as it goes. Flores de la Paz takes a shot, goal with a stop, rebound, off of the line. Jean Diouf with the clearance. An advantage that they've been given to potentially generate something on their line of offense, especially considering how they have yet to register even a shot attempt in almost a dozen minutes. Left to right it goes, held on by Cups, into the area, too high for the head, settled by Osorio. Nice little cut by Orihel. He goes off and just by Finnerty. Second chance, post. No rebound there as it's cleared away by Miami. Now Chicago gets their opportunity. We see that first long-range chance. Finnerty gets the stop. The second chance goes off of the post. Long ball towards the area. Bouncing. No one able to claim it. Osorio scores! Harold Osorio make it 8 goals in 9 games, and Chicago strike first a little over a dozen minutes in. As we take a look at the feed, what a beautiful ball 20 minutes in, 1-0 for Chicago over Inter Miami. Chicago want to get back on the win column after losing to Crown Legacy. Miami want to make it 2 wins in a row. Continues to gallop up ahead. Beautiful sliding block by Shannon. Denies the shot opportunity there by Morales. Out wide it goes towards center. Bobbled in front. Miami wants a handball, and it's given. The argument for the handball by Miami, and after all of the confusion up in front of the box as it was a delayed reaction by the head official, Jeff Gall trying to make the argument as it appeared to be Amari Glasgow who is the one who is the guilty party. The cross up in front looks like it went off of Glasgow's leg and bounced down to his hand. That was really a tough call from that angle, but nonetheless, it'll be Santiago Morales to take the penalty kick opportunity for Miami. He scored 3 minutes into the game last week versus Atlanta. He wants a goal in back-to-back and level this game at 1 in the 21st minute off of a PK try. Jeff Gall, 31 years old, spent the last 8 years playing professionally in the 2nd and 3rd divisions in Sweden, has to block the 17-year-old Morales. Morales ties this game at 1. The stutter step shot and scores. His 3rd of the season is a new career high for the 17-year-old Miami Academy product. And we're tied at 1 at 21 minutes. Just another check. Still tied at 1. Chicago Fire 2 and Inter Miami 2 at SeatGeek Stadium in Bridgeview, Illinois. Near side held on, Purpa. Can he set up another potential goal? Comes back, Osorio, Spinorama, waits. Out wide, Glasgow. Glasgow working on Reyes as he shoots, and it's easily held on by Finnerty. It's more. Pareba. Out wide, off of the feed from Sudan, goes Glasgow. Glasgow's inside, takes another attempt, but it's held on again by Finnerty. How much more time is left as we're already at the 47? None, in fact. We're through with the first set of 45 as Chicago Fire 2 and Inter Miami 2 generate offensive opportunities despite only having a single goal in a dozen matches played so far. And that's something that Chicago, if they potentially want to walk out of this game with a full 3 points or even resets, wants to cross, keeps it in play, elevates towards center. Comes back for Cups, he takes a drive, but it was a little bit off frame regardless of Finnerty's touch. Elevated and headed up and out. Ryan Carmichael stepping up to the play, but a corner for Chicago. So in essence, it's a rinse and repeat for the Fire. Luca Purpa had an assist on a cross. Tries to go again. Headed up and in! David Pareba increases his league lead in goals. That's 11 for Pareba and 2 for Chicago. And he sends out the shirt to recognize his teammate David Chao-Caro, who was announced at kickoff that he'll be out for the season to injury. Scores the goal. First substitution will be Cohen Yuval replacing Ryan Carmichael up top. And then it is going to be Alejo Restano. Reyes. Out wide, Cohen Yuval takes a drive and Gall holds on. worked on and eventually could not get it out. Long range try is right there for O Infinity. Poreba out wide towards center. Couldn't hit Shukaluk, too tall for him, but it's still controlled by Amari Glasgow. Glasgow to back post! And headed on, Shukaluk leaves it for Kofi. Across it goes, hesitation, Hoyer! Held off by Finnerty. He just slides that one out for Reyes for a potential counterattack, as Miami have about a dozen minutes left in this game. Yuval, Reyes, Zeltzer Zubida just retreats it back towards center, so Inter Miami 2 can recollect. Possession's been about 55% the whole way through, and that one goes through! Cohen Yuval ties this game at 2! Yuval's got his second goal in MLS Next Pro. They've all come out wide. It goes. Hensey towards center, headed on, and that one may have gotten the touch on by the header from Glasgow off the fingertips of Finnerty. It did. This will be the 5th corner for the Fire. Chicago want to go quick, and they go short. Kaye with the serve. The header easily snagged by Finnerty. Back up top, Poreba from long range is too far out of frame. He missed. Goal kick, O Infinity. There are 28 combined shot attempts between Miami and Chicago. 18-8, they split in favor of the Fire. 15 combined shot attempts. Miami have only mustered up 4 of them. But at the end of the day, the only number that matters are the 2s across the scoreboard with 2 minutes to go of 90. .35 combined fouls as well. Offensive and scrappy. That could have been near disaster had Jeff Gall not had the reflexes, but he holds on off of the back pass from Jean Diouf, who recollects. Kofi, Glasgow, turns on the engine, does Glasgow, centers, having to hesitate as Kaye, but he comes back for Poreba. Poreba stepping back into the midfield and letting Shukaluk go up top. Falls right for Poreba. Hands it for Shukaluk. Shukaluk takes a look. Wants a penalty. Second chance for Kofi. Glasgow shoots over the bar and out of play. Another substitution for Chicago Fire is Vitaly Hulyat comes in for Chris Cups in the 90th minute. In a 2-2 game, Reyes steps up and held off by Gall. And eventually that one just gets smacked down the field by Basabe. Couldn't go out, but there are no more seconds to go on the clock. We're tied at 2 after 90, and we are heading to a shootout. It's 2-2 after 90 minutes of play, as he has a chance to end it for Chicago. Hensey on Finnerty. Scores! Chicago earned the extra point, and they have taken this game 6-5 in the shootout and extend Their shootout win percentage, 5-1 in PKs, and Miami still yet to win on 4 tries on the kicks from the dot.